Well, that was a new one. We'll see if my phone re-pings me here. The studio lost internet right in the middle of our stream. I got to say, luckily it was us.
Yeah.
And not one of your other clients.
Yeah, I still am
because
very sorry.
your brother's not going to fire you. So
I hope not.
boy. Oh, that's tough. Your brother's not going to fire you. That's
I hope not. Okay, so we're back.
All right, so we're back on. So that's good.
Yeah, so if anybody watching wants to buy my competition electronics charger or off the tire chewer or even Team Cobra comm lathe, I'm willing to sell if the price is right.
Dude, I want your competition 30. Don't seriously, don't I'd take that. I don't know. We'll have to discuss it offline. I'd be all over that just to have it.
Would you trade me an RC10T for it?
I only have one, so no, probably not.
You can get another. There'll probably be another one coming in the store.
Not in the condition that I have it. That thing's like brand new.
Sounds like a personal problem. I don't know how bad you want that charger.
Yeah, not that bad. Not that bad.
How much money you get? Dollars here? What are we talking?
I don't know. I'll have to think about it.
Okay.
I'll have to think about it.
Okay. Yeah, you think about it.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
I'm thinking like $700. It's got to be worth that. You know?
No. No, it's not.
One.
No.
Buy another one.
It's. I mean, it's worth something. It's not worth that.
I know. I'm just.
Anyways, where were we at? We were talking about. There's a lot to talk about, man. I don't want to forget much of it. So, Chili just mentioned something in the comments from the previous version of the stream. We're gonna have to. I guess we'll just have to deal with it the way it is. They can splice and cut it for the Friday program when we release it on Apple, but for YouTube, there's not a whole lot we can do, so we'll just restart.
Yeah.
But
we'll get an editing.
Yeah, we'll get an editing. I mean, Tebow to Miyako, we kind of all knew that here for a couple weeks, but we had to keep our mouths shut.
Yeah.
And
I knew it too.
He didn't want me to even bring it up when we were doing the interview, so that's why we talked about other stuff.
Yeah.
No,
I didn't know about it. I was kidding. I just wanted to sound a part of the group.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, they practiced like the day after last techno race.
Yeah.
So the cat was kind of out of the bag. At least locally, you know. I don't know. That's who else? What else happened? I think did Brandon Rose go to S-Works? Was that announced today?
I think so.
I think so. So that's another interesting little shake up there. Who does Mugen have? Mugen. Drake, obviously.
I think just Drake.
The kid from Phoenix doesn't. Tanner Denny. I think he's still with Mugen, right?
No, he drives S-Works stuff.
Oh, that's right. Wow, that's weird. That is weird. So, anyways, there you go. Big changes. I'm not going to put a whole bunch of stock in it. That's what the No Name podcast is for. You guys can listen to that. It's just it's kind of fun, kind of interesting. Like I said, the big shocker for me was Cole Tollard and Cavallari.
Yeah, I wasn't really surprised about Cav. When so it's just that time of year or that time of like in their cycle stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know, like historically this always happens. They, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Except for Dakota.
Well,
but Dakota's.
Why would you get rid of Dakota? He's winning everything.
Yeah, he wins everything, and he's never driven anything else other than a Losi car since 2006.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's like he's their Rivkin, right?
Like
compare it that way. I mean,
yeah.
That's kind of how it is.
Yep.
You know, because like Spencer Rivkin's kind of like the poster boy for Associated, and it's fine. You know, I mean, he's the like Rivkin's kind of just like the face of Associated right now. You know, like think factory Associated. Do you think Spencer Rivkin?
An interesting thing. Did you see along with the racer payout thing?
Yeah.
So, do you think that that's going to, first off, do you think that that's going to stick?
What, like they're not going to pay the guys?
No, they'll pay him, but I mean, do you think that will be something that'll happen long term?
I don't know. I hadn't really thought of it that way. I mean, if it works out, yeah. It's kind of a way to get people to use their product without sponsoring them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, really, it's kind of what it is. I was a little surprised that they had sportsman classes included in that.
Yes.
But the other side of the coin is I'm surprised that they have pro classes included in that. So it's like, I mean, like, so somebody isn't already going to get a contingency plan with their sponsors for a big giant race like that. I mean, maybe it should be for the intermediate. This should be just for intermediate and sportsman drivers.
Well,
you know.
Okay. Here's yes, exactly. I think they had to do that. I think they had to encompass all of it, not just the pro class, because then what would be the point? The pro class drivers already get contingencies from whoever.
Yeah, but why do the pro classes then?
True. Yeah, that's true.
That's my thing. Like the pro guys are already gonna get
Yeah, because remember when Byron's used to do that? I got $50. I got $50 for our Byron's race one time for finishing 5th. I was stoked, dude. I was like, I showed my wife. I'm like, see, RC does pay.
You're like, yeah. If they said RC wouldn't pay.
Yeah. So here's an interesting thing. And this, for somebody like me who doesn't have, my only affiliation is J Concepts. I do that on purpose. I accepted a techno sponsorship 2 years ago, but I didn't renew it. I kind of felt, for me personally, I feel constrained. I want to drive other stuff. When a new car comes out, I want to build it. I want to drive it. I want to have the ability to get something like this and not have people go, oh, why don't you get the Axial one? I thought you were sponsored by Horizon, blah, 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 blah. I want everything. I want to try everything. If it's something I want to get it. This almost makes me want to get an Elite for this upcoming year. Mm-hmm. Because the Clash of Champions race that just happened, 40 plus 2-wheel and 40 plus 4-wheel were on that list. The Masters of Dirt, which Emerson and I are planning on going to, 40 plus 2-wheel drive buggies on that list. Open 2-wheel drive is on that list. I don't have to race. I don't have a chassis sponsor, so I don't have to race the pro mod class. I can race open again, like I did a couple years ago. I felt like an asshole for doing it, but Emerson and I wanted to be in the same class, so I raced open. This would make me want to race open, and with a Losi car.
Yeah,
but would I be a sandbagger? I don't know.
Technically, no.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just depends on how you look at it. Like, it's all like doesn't like a major manufacturer have like engineers and like their drivers that are running sportsman and intermediate classes already? Like they actually work for the manufacturer.
Yeah. Wasn't the dude who just left? He didn't race a whole lot, but the dude who left Associated, I don't think he ever raced in like a pro class.
I don't know what classes TJ ran. I was talking about a different brand. I didn't realize that I wasn't talking about him, but I know that's something that's been talked about before.
Yeah.
But
dude, our ProTech Spring Champs is on the list for Tier 2.
Is it really?
It is. Here's the thing. When I first saw this, I didn't see us on here, so I was kind of like, "What? That sucks."
They must have added it.
But it's on there now. So
I looked through there and I was like, "What the heck? Why are there any R races on there?"
Yeah, that's what I said too. I was kind of miffed at first, and but now it's on there. So it Tier 2, 2023 RC. They didn't put ProTech though. Notice that, but it says RC 1/10 spring off-road champs Hobbyplex 1/10 mod 2-wheel 1/10 mod 4-wheel 1/10 expert 2-wheel drive 1/10. We'll see. We're gonna have expert and independent classes, but also 40 plus is on here. I'm telling you, man, I might just get an elite car just because I'm not going to run a Spectrum radio, but I'll at least have the car, and I'm not going to run Proline tires, so it's just the car. But I'd do that.
Do you have any of your old Spectrum radios?
No, I ain't doing that. I want to win. Like, oh shit! I just burned some bridges, didn't I? What I meant was that no, a DX4, like my old DX4R. By today's standards, I mean, sure, it'd probably work, but I love my San Juan, dude. My M17, it's like butter.
Didn't you have a you had that white radio, like the DX3R, that was all white? You know what I'm talking about?
It was silver. No silver.
No, there was one that was all white.
Really? I don't remember that one.
I thought you had that one.
No.
Yeah,
wasn't K
like matte white.
Isn't KO the white radio?
Now.
Yeah.
Back then, I thought Spectrum had a DX3R or a DX3 of some kind, because that was the one with like the all crazy and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? And it was a white radio.
I mean, the DX6 was silver though. It was black. The DX6 was black.
Yeah, there's one that was all white.
Oh, I don't remember that one. I think you're thinking of the silver one. I think you're thinking of a DX3R.
No, there was one that was all white. I know there was. It was matte white.
I'm gonna look it up.
Look it up.
Yeah, if that said it was a DX, it was one of the DX3Cs.
It was like their top of the line one.
What?
It was like the DX3R Pro or something.
No.
It was all white. They had an all white radio. I know they did.
Anyways, you know what I'm saying though? Like I would seriously, this makes me want to get an elite car now for this year. I was thinking about doing it anyways.
Maybe that's what it's for.
Because Emerson's
their business model's working. You want to buy one of their cars.
Emerson's slaying it with his Losi car right now. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like I said, I have no real affiliation, and I just drive what I feel comfortable with, and you know. I'm waiting for a new car. That's the honest answer for me. I'm waiting for a new car. When Losi comes out with a new car with that has the front end they're running, the rear end they're running, when that car comes out, I'm totally going to buy it and build it and race it.
2-wheel?
Yeah, 2-wheel. Yeah. Huh. Their 4-wheel drive's off the hook. I love their 4-wheel drive car. It's like cheating. So we'll see what the B74 2 does on dirt. This upcoming spring.
Yeah.
Because I've been running that on carpet and doing pretty good with it. So we'll see. Anyways, so we're on there. We weren't on there. When this first came out, we weren't on there.
I know we weren't.
Because I looked and I was like, yeah, dang it. Mm-hmm. And of course, none of the J Concepts races are on here.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
You know. But you know, it's their program, so they can put whatever races they want on there, I guess.
Yeah, they're kind of in a weird place being a distributor with their own brands, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So there you go. Props to them for putting up our ProTech race for that. So thank you. So we talked about some drivers. We talked about this. We talked about our Christmas. There is no pivot break today, so we've got some time to kill here. Not kill, but you know what I mean. Tell us about your sprint car race. You won. I saw. I was going to text you and ask you if you won, and then I saw your post. And I'm like, oh, kick ass.
Yeah. No, so here's the car. It's sitting right here. I'll kind of take it apart and stuff now. I wanted to try to keep it together just so I could hold it up at the podcast, but I didn't. Here's my body. Got some cool headers on there and all kinds of stuff. Wait. So this car I'm running is a C4. They don't make it anymore. It's not a custom work C4. There's a guy that was making these a long time ago. It's a C4, but this is the car that Jason and I ran at INS, the oval race that we had at the Hobbyplex. We ran this car one weekend. Jason won. Was it like 40 plus sprint car?
Yeah.
And I just missed the A main with it at that race, and so when I got to that race, and I was trying to get out of work early. I didn't get out of work early. Jason said he bought this car on eBay, and I get up there. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll get up there, run some packs, break some tires in, whatever. And I get up there, and the car is all in pieces. And so I had to like finish putting the car together. I got like one battery pack of practice, and then we were seating. And so I didn't really get this thing dialed in really well at that race. But so then I had it for that race. Then Jason texted me and he was like, "Hey, AJ needs to use that car at Motorama." So this car went to a Motorama, got run there. AJ Marasco ran it, and then it got shipped back to me. I didn't think I was gonna ever see it again. And it got shipped back to me for INS at our track, and then COVID happened, and we didn't have the race. There was no racing, and so this just went in a box for 3 years, and I never pulled it out. And then some friends of mine at work, they were like, "Oh, let's all race sprint cars or whatever." So there's like 4 guys at work. They wanted to race sprint cars. Like, "Oh, I don't have one," and I was like, "Wait, I do have one." And I was like, "Okay, I'll get it ready." So I put it all together. We took it practice. I took it practice with it. Thing was actually really good. And then I started like really working on it because all I did is kind of clean it up. I put a lay down transmission in it because I had a 3-gear stand up in it when I got it, and went and practiced with it. It was pretty good, but it could be better. And I made these brass weights for it. There's all those weights hanging off the side of it. And I have scales. Like I've had computer scales forever, and I rarely ever use them, but I broke them out for this. I like worked on it, scaled it, changed rear springs, put some pistons in it and shock coil in it that I thought would work, and ran it this weekend. And I was running like 3.8, almost 3.8, 3.9 with it on our track, and those are pretty fast. That's like the fast lap. Like to run with the fast guys at our track, which they're all Chili Bowl. So I showed up Sunday morning. I ran a battery pack through it, and I thought it was pretty good. I put it on the scales in my pit and put some more cross in it. Like I started at like I was running like 53% left side weight, and then I was running 51% cross. And I went up to 52, and I ran it the first qualifier. And it was okay. It was fast, but it wasn't. It could be better. And then I put another. I went doing 53% cross, 53.5, and that's all it needed. And it was like instantly like way better.
Yeah.
Like 0.2 faster. So. Yeah, I ran the first qualifier, because they run seeding, then a qualifier, and then they run the top 4 of the main together, and I was just on top all day, and it worked out pretty good. I didn't even try treaded tires. I just went out on silver smoothies.
Yeah, you sold some silver smoothies for us too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Stu came up and bought some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked at the track today when because I've been working on the track all day, and the oval looked pretty good.
Dude, it was awesome.
Like
I don't know what guys complain about. I thought it was great. Like yeah, there was like one bump. It was like okay, whatever, dude.
I think the softness of the flood is finally gone.
Yeah.
So the track actually stays the same now.
Mm-hmm.
And I just rode around for like an hour with the tractor.
Yeah.
I filled in a couple low spots, that center low spot right in the middle of front straight.
Yeah.
I filled that in, used a tamper on it. I used a tamper on a few other sections, spots where I just saw it yeah, I could probably smooth this out. And then I just drove the truck around it for like an hour. Then I went home.
Yeah.
And it looked really good today.
No, it was great. Like I have no complaints at all. Yeah, I lapped second place 3 times, and it was pretty good. I yeah, that was a good showing the first time out. I had guys coming over wanting to look at my car. It's like I was like helping people. I was like, dude, this is my first day, or second day, really. Which I don't mind helping people. I thought it was awesome, but like I finally now got my car because I had my battery just double back taped in, and I wanted to be able to change my battery because you just beat the heck out of these batteries in these cars.
Yeah.
You're just like wee 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 like the whole time.
Yeah.
And, I wanted to be able to change my battery, so I just took some. I had an extra J Concepts like carbon fiber battery net for a B6.
Mm-hmm.
And I cut that up and put that in here. So I'm using the J Concepts battery net system to hold my battery in my car now. It'll work pretty good, I think. But yeah, I had a great time. I actually really like Oval.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's fun when you get enough guys together with the same skill set driving.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like I think there's a pretty big skill set difference in my main, but I didn't touch a car. All those guys did a really good job. Like I would just kind of wait for a place to pass.
Mm-hmm.
They'd give it to me every time. Like I wasn't like having to move people or anything like that or fight my way through traffic. Like those guys all did a great job.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it was really good. Seemed like everybody had fun. They got done a reasonable time too. I was able to go down and start pulling pipe pretty much right after I counted the drawer.
Yeah.
So it kind of capped a big race weekend for us too.
Yeah.
And that's with guys being gone at the Chili Bowl too.
Yeah. I want to get like one of Phil's cars. It's like, man, I've already put like so much work into it to like start over. But
if the car's working, why worry about it?
I don't know. I just want to get one of Phil's cars.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe I'll save this for a different class or something. But
yeah,
I don't know. This one works really good. So
program rules for the TLR. While you were talking, I was perusing this. So, tier 2 race contingencies for 40 plus, you get $100 for first, 50 for second, or 25 for third. For the expert classes and intermediate 8-scale classes, it's 150, 75, and 35. And then for pro buggy and mod cars, it's 200, 150. TLR two-wheel drive buggy, any year or model must be run in all qualifiers and main event. Any four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive must accompany driver on podium and photos. Brand T-shirt or hat from TLR, Proline, AKA, or Spectrum must be worn on the podium in photos.
Are they going to give you this?
I don't think I have any TLR shirt. I have a Losi shirt, but not a TLR shirt. Oh, what am I talking about? I got my old TLR shirts from when I was sponsored. I still ride it when I ride my bike, my mountain bike, because they're the wicker, the moisture wicking ones. I love wearing those shirts still. So what am I talking about? I have those. TLR decals must be run on race body and easily visible. That might be tough because I don't have any of those because I run Hobbyplex stickers. I don't even run Associated stickers. I run Hobbyplex.
Mm-hmm.
And race results must be turned in within 7 days after main event. So,
wow.
So I don't know, man. Going back to that, now I got something to think about. So you're gonna be there next? You're gonna be there in February then?
For the next dirt oval race?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Tim was telling me like, oh man, you got to start racing more oval.
Right.
Like, I had a great time too. Like those some of the most, like the hardest I drove was in that second qualifier with just the 4 cars out there. Like that was like, all right, I'm gonna have some room here. I can try to lay down some heaters. That's why I ran my fastest laps.
Yeah. We ran we ran Family Friday Off-Road. We had about 40 entries, 3 heats of Plex spec. So, again, can't complain. We had a big heat of 8 scale. Some guys came up from Kansas City, Craig Stolzing and Jake and Noah Hicklin. And then we had Chris Stapes and, oh, God, I'm going to forget his name. Wasaki. And then we had Trey Wasaki. And then we had, of course, our local guys. And we had I think we had 7 or 8 e-buggies. So that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, we had our 9th round of the syndicate. So there's only one more left. And there's a possibility to lock up some championships. And most of them are actually going to go down to the final week. So I think we ended up with 80 entries. I was calling 70, and I think we ended up with, I'm pretty sure we ended up with 80. Let me check here. 83. So I was pretty happy about that. We had, I think, a C main of expert stock. I kind of condensed a couple of races to 9 instead of 8. Otherwise, we would have had like a 3-car D main, and I don't think that was fun or fair, you know.
Yeah.
Because then that one person won't get to race again. I was like, that would suck. So I just put 9 of them in there, and it ended up working out fine. I'm always afraid of having too many cars on the track, but the layout that we put down, I wanted to put down something that I liked again, because the last couple track layouts I haven't liked. They haven't really made me want to race carpet. So this one everybody seemed really happy with it. I used the wall jump. Well, you saw it on Sunday.
Yeah,
that was actually a lot of fun. How we had it, and you know the problem with that specific jump is that you lose your car sometimes. But with where we put it, it didn't do that at all. So I was pretty happy. In Plex spec, Carson Sanders took the win. Max Camp had a horrible start and came back to get second. He's pretty fun to watch. He's super aggressive on the track, but he came out of nowhere to get second. Jamie Peevler and Luke Tabor were having a pretty good battle for third, but Jamie missed the jump and basically was going to keep going. And I was like, no, you can't, because he landed on the other side. And my rule is you got to give up a spot when that happens. So I had him wait. Well, while he was waiting, Max came by and got around him. I think that's how Max ended up in second overall. So, or maybe Jamie and Luke got together. I can't remember exactly what happened, but either way, Jamie got the TQ and finished third. Luke Tabor, I believe that was his first time there, was fourth. Miguel Carrion was fifth. Isabella McMullen was sixth. Ryan Nemec was seventh, and Lakota Clancy was eighth. The cool thing is Jamie Peevler getting that TQ. Right now, he's currently fourth, and we only award top 3 for the syndicate. So he's got a shot to get that third place. A win would have helped him a ton, but just wasn't meant to be. And then Carson Sanders has been steadily catching Cody Haida, and Cody wasn't there. So now they're only, I think, a couple points apart on points. So Plex Spec's going to go down to the very last week. I wanted to talk about expert stock. Well, I was going to talk about all of them, but my son, dude, this resurgence that he's had all of a sudden with RC,
yeah,
makes me all warm and cuddly inside. Because he's also working on his own stuff for the most part. He'll turn around and ask me. He'll tell me what he wants his car to do, and I'll be like, "Well, you probably should try this or this." And then when he does it and he does it right, so he's learning, but he's also kind of working on his own stuff. And he had such a big lead because Riley ended up not racing the whole series, and Emerson had a streak of wins there for a while. So he had a big lead, but he had to have a good day Saturday. Otherwise, he was going to have to race in 2 weeks, and he wanted to go to the Pro Tech race at Fastlane. So he had to do good. I think he just had to finish like 5th or something or better. But Jake Wiggs came down. This was one of his 3 classes that he ran. He actually got the TQ. Emerson was TQ in round 1, and then he crashed a lot in round 2. So Jake got the TQ in round 2. And if you watch a video, Emerson was real smart, real patient. Jake made one mistake, and that was that. Emerson was gone. So Emerson got the win with that. He locked up. He's got the magic number. I think it's like 703 or something like that. So nobody can catch him. Yeah. So he doesn't have to race the last one. Wiggs did get second. Actually, the results show it a little bit closer. There was a 4-car crash on the straightaway on the last lap. And so Emerson had to like slow way down and not get collected by him. He had made a mistake before that, so Jake got within a straightaway of him. And then that happened, so he had to slow way down and like dodge and weave. And Jake came hauling through there and didn't, so they finished way closer than it would have. It would have been about probably a 2-second gap, but it ended up being 0.6 of a second. Still a great race from both of them. David Peevler had a really good expert stock race. He, I think he broke in round 1, so he had to qualify into the A main from the first heat of the resort, and there was 3 heats of expert stock.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and then he got around Jacob Schweisberger, who came down about halfway through the race and kind of held there. Jacob was catching him there at the end. But they didn't make the extra lap. So David finished 3rd. Jacob was 4th. John Berdine was 5th. He was part of that thing that happened in the middle, along with Mike Sanders, Dayton Mosier, and I think Dalton was in it too. So all those guys kind of finished right behind each other. The points for 2nd and 3rd, I believe, is between Mike, John, and David Peevler. So, and that's going to come down to the last week as well. Mini's basically between Caden Berdine and Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas already won the Mini Maniac series in 2-wheel drive. So, but Caden got the win. Andrew got the TQ in 2nd. Jake Conrad with the JRX 2 stock finished 3rd. Because in Mini, what'll happen is like half the cars will break. or pop a ball cup or something stupid like that. And that's what happened. Ryan Nemec was 5th. Emerson was up there battling, and Andrew got wrecked or something on the straightaway, and Emerson ran right into him, popped off his ball cup, his tie rod completely. So he couldn't turn, so he had to fix it. So he ended up 6th. And that was after going home and getting his Mini because he forgot it. So he was just going to run the main. And then Anthony Santi also had a problem. So Mini is always fun. It's not, it shouldn't be taken serious. I mean, it shouldn't be taken as seriously as like expert stock buggy, you know?
Right.
It should be for fun. And it was. They were like doing cross, like, what's that called? When you jump from one jump to the other jump in the other lane? Transfers. They were doing like that sort of thing. Mod 2 wheel is next. I had a shot to lock up this mod buggy thing because, again, Alex Vanderbeek, Ethan Dallaire, Riley, all 3 of those guys haven't made all the races now. So there's kind of a gap. And I had a pretty good run in November as well in mod 2 wheel. So I'd built up kind of a lead, but Caden has been slowly catching me. And last round, I had a mental blowout. Like there was 8 cars in the main, and I was hoping I would be content. That was when Jackson was there too. I was hoping I'd be content and just sort of kind of finish, 3rd, 4th realistically. And I ended up 7th. So those points hurt and gave Caden, I think Caden finished 3rd. So he made up a whole bunch of points on me. And so I really needed to do better this time. And I made some changes to my 2-wheel drive car that I was happy with. I got rid of some tow that I had left in from Phoenix and kind of forgotten about. Because my car was pushing. I'm like, why is my car pushing? Never pushes. And then I shortened the rear link in Phoenix on the dirt car. and it made the car better. So I thought, well, maybe that'll make it better on carpet, but it didn't. It made my car way too tight, and it didn't feel very balanced. So I lengthened it back out to where it was stock, along with that toe change, and my car was way better, and I could drive it harder. So I was kind of able to keep up there for a little while. I had a shot at TQ as well. The second round, Drew crashed. I had the lead, and I finished 1 second off of TQ. And at the when Drew crashed, I was like 8 seconds behind TQ. So if I just could have drove like 2 more hot laps, I might have gotten an extra point out of this whole thing. But whatever. Anyways, Drew Rubin King just pulled away in the main. I don't think he crashed once. I didn't crash once either. But I hung with him for about a minute. But after that, he crept away a little bit. He won by a lap. He basically got the extra lap is what happened. I finished second, but Caden finished right behind me in third. And so I was looking at the points, and I was trying to determine if I even have to race the next one. And I definitely have to race the next one. And I have to finish within 1 spot of Caden. If I'm going to finish behind him, I got to finish within 1 spot of him. Otherwise, I think he wins. So it's going to come down to the last round. So Caden finished third. Dayton Mosier finished fourth. Jacob Schweisberger was fifth. David Peevler was seventh. Jake Wiggs was, I'm sorry. Where am I at? Caden, Dayton, Jacob. David was sixth. Jake Wiggs was seventh. Tyler Canine was eighth, and Daniel Bender was ninth. Independent Buggy was next, and Braden Koob got the win in a crazy finish. So Andrew Thomas, I believe he's got the independent thing locked up here on carpet. I think, where's the graph at? He led like almost the whole way, and then Josh McMullen, Joe Schnoes, Joe and Andrew were having a really good race for second. Joe got the lead, and then something happened, and Josh McMullen, all he had to do was like make the final turn, and he would have won this. And he clipped the pipe and flipped over. And Braden Koob comes around and crosses the line right in front of Andrew Thomas and gets the win. So it was a crazy finish. And Joe went from first to fourth. Andrew went up to second. Braden, I think he went from like fourth to first. And then Josh McMullen ended up third after all that. So it was a crazy finish. It was the craziest finish of the day, other than the 4 cars upside down in the straightaway in the expert stock main. But that was, kind of back of the pack. This was for the win. And Braden Koob snuck through everybody and got the win. Andrew Thomas was second. Josh McMullen was third. Joe Schnoes was fourth. Connor Hausch, fifth. Eric Z-Man was sixth. Jana Peevler, and then TJ Williams was eighth. A couple guys had to make the bump that normally don't today, and TJ Williams was one of them. He was struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
4-wheel drive. I let Alex Vanderbeek take my B74 with him to the Clash. Mm-hmm. So I am officially out of points for 4-wheel drive. So Alex better appreciate that. Because I was still in the points. So there you go. Caden Berdine, though, got a TQ and a win. That pretty much locks him for the 13-5 championship for the syndicate.
Yeah.
Jacob Schweisberger was second. Jake Wigg was third. John Berdine was fourth. Your top 4 finished exactly how they qualified. Mike Sanders was fifth. Andrew Thomas was sixth. Braden Koob was seventh. David Peevler was broken out in eighth. I can't really remember what happened there with David, but that was a race day. It was a really fun day. I'm counting down the race days on carpet. We have 5 left. Mm-hmm. So we have final syndicate race in 2 weeks, then 3 races for the triple scoop, and then our carpet crash in, and then we're back to dirt in March.
Nice.
So, I got hired to be the race director for the. I'm going to get the official name for it. Hang on. We're going to get the comments here, and then we'll be done. But, gosh darn it, RC Racing. No, it's not RC Racing Group. Gosh darn it. It always comes up, and now oh, wait a minute. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible. My voice sucks today too.
Yeah, mine always does.
What? Is it Ken Peterson's birthday today? Wow, it is his birthday today. Happy birthday, Ken Peterson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The RC Pit Stop and Raceway, the new carpet track in Newton, Kansas, which is just north of Wichita. So you could almost say it's between Hutch and Wichita.
Okay.
So they got going, and they're calling it the Winter Carpet Classic. So the inaugural Winter Carpet Classic is a week before the crash in.
Okay.
So it's February 18th and 19th, and I got a text about some scoring issue they were having, and then they're like, "Hey, you want to run this race?" And I'm like, I could probably make that happen. So, Emerson's going to run races that day up here on Saturday.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to go down there. So get signed up. It's a cool looking track. It's nothing. They don't do any on road or nothing. It's just an off road, which affords them a lot of advantages that we don't have, which is pretty much just like making an off road track to be an off road track. Permanent things, and they got this cool rise in the back and all that. So I'll be doing that, and then the week after that, I'll be doing the crash in. So my February is pretty much locked up. So I'll be techno race, then this race, then the crash in. 3 kind of big things in a row. And then you and I get to go to the Field of Dreams at Eric Larson's place, Need for Speed, at the end of March. So you'll be in the invite class.
Yeah.
So
that'll be cool.
That'll be dialed, dude. I hope he gets a bigger turnout this year. I kind of it was a good race last year, but there's definitely room for that race to grow.
Yeah.
And the track was freaking awesome. Like it's bigger than ours. It's banked, so you can haul ass a little bit more. It's a permanent oval track, so again, he can afford. He's got the ability to just make that track, super smooth, and he doesn't have to worry about any bashers coming in and destroying it or anything like that. And the pipe they use is that real small diameter, like gas line, so your cars don't get, too messed up or anything like that. So, I'm looking forward to going back down there again. That was pretty exciting to do last year. I actually enjoyed myself quite a bit. I was a little nervous, about running an oval race, but shoot, it was easy. So there you go. A lot has happened in the last 3 weeks. Let's go through some comments. I'm gonna try to find the comments from the previous feed real quick here.
Yeah.
And then, but I want you to talk about this one. So Peter's got a question. What's the secret to cleaning clay off tires? It took 4 Simple Green scrubs per wheel to do a bad job. What kind of dirt?
Yeah. 1 second here. So J Concepts actually makes a tire wash bucket, but it's these like they're live. What?
No, I'm sorry. It's my my phone. Sorry.
Okay. They make a tire wash bucket, and it's actually their like either their motor box or their battery box that you can like store your stuff in.
Yeah.
So underneath here, there are these 2 holes that have a like spot for screws and stuff, and you can put the J Concepts tire brush and mount it in there. It's like designed to go in there. So you fill this up with hot soapy water or hot water. I just use hot water, and then when you're done scrubbing them up, you just go like you just do like one of these numbers on there with hot water. It's like this, and then it cleans all the junk off, and then you can kind of hit them with your simple green or your spray away glass cleaner, whatever you want to use, and it'll be nice and clean. So that's what I do to clean tires when they're really.
So I think he's running tread.
Yeah.
So
you need to use a scrub brush.
There's got to be some sort of scrub brush thing like that. No, I know, like that. Slicks are easy, but
you just wipe them off. Yeah.
Glass cleaner. But I was also going to say, I wonder what kind of clay it is.
I don't know.
Because I've been to other tracks where the clay like never goes away. Yeah. Like it's almost like it stains it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
right.
But yeah, the J Concepts thing is the way to go.
Oh yeah, it's like thin and it fits in your bag real nice, and like you just I think it works really good.
I prefer that to the toothbrush technique.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Dirt Burners in Michigan. I've seen their track. I don't know. Maybe it's just a clay, but what about hot water too? Don't you think? Like if you forget to, like if you didn't wash your tires after your last race and your car's in your bag and it dries on there, I've got my sink in my room and I usually turn on the hot water and.
Yeah, I always use hot water.
Simple green and.
Even when I get water at the Plex or something out of the bathroom, I always just use hot water.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're treaded tires, I'm sure. So it does make it a little bit more work, I guess. But you got to get the brush.
Oh yeah, you got to brush them. And that J Concepts brush is like a really nice soft bristle that gets in all the gaps too.
Yeah, because if they're too hard, they don't work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've even been known to take my drill and put my my arbor on there and just like hold it on the brush and just go real slow so it doesn't sling garbage everywhere.
Yeah.
But, that usually works pretty good.
Here's one from BG Money 25. Can I join the Summer Racing League in Hobbyplex Omaha? Of course you can, but you don't really join. You just show up.
Yeah. You
show up and you pay the entry fee. As long as you pay the entry fee, you can do any race you want. So that's a super easy one. I want some new cars. My mom will not give me new RC cars, so I don't know what to say about that one. You're gonna have to do some chores or something.
Yeah.
Riley thinks that Futaba had a white radio.
No. I mean, they might have, but I know Spectrum did.
I
know for a fact.
Jason Haley says that he got to experience the Great Wheel wheelies on the straightaway.
Yeah, I was ripping some wheelies on Sunday.
Peter also said that he didn't sauce his tires, but other drivers did. I will say tire sauce does most tire sauce makes the dirt come off quite a bit easier as well.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we used to put like powder on our tires, like old X patterns, the old X patterns. Like when the track was muddy, we used to put powder on our tires to make the dirt not stick to it.
Huh. I remember using Pam.
Pam, okay. Wouldn't that make your tires slick though?
I don't know. I don't think anybody knew what they were doing back then.
Oh.
That was the thing guys were doing, is putting Pam on their tires to keep the dirt from sticking.
I think it was like talcum powder or something.
Huh.
The stuff that gives you cancer now, that they run the late night ads on.
Yeah.
Yeah. John Haas responding to Peter says, when the tread is real bad, just let him dry out and work it, and then it can be worked out by hand with spray towel or I've done that. Like if it's super hard, you just take your hands and like try to like mash the tire with your hands and it like crumbles apart.
Yeah, like break the dirt off.
Yeah, it would. The interesting thing about this string of comments though is that Peter was in Michigan at Dirt Burners.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which I think he told us that a couple weeks ago that he was going to be going to there. The Smoking Rat. I don't really have any questions. Just recently discovered or seen. I've watched many of this channel's videos and a few streams. I guess I just want to say I'm enthusiastic. I think he had a question earlier about Friday nights, or maybe he had a comment when I was like getting all weird and depressed and stuff. But I will not be quitting anytime soon. Believe me. If anything, I'll just try to do better. I just like to complain sometimes. Is all. But yeah, you got to come out on Friday nights. Friday nights are where it's at if you're brand new. Unless you hate kids. If you hate kids, then don't come out.
Yeah. Don't.
Peter says, I didn't know 8 scales use the same size servos as 10th. What would you guys recommend for his B4E 8 scale buggy?
Actually, where is it?
Will's going to show you a reedy one.
Yeah. Well, I was. I don't know where it is.
Now he doesn't know where it's at.
What do you do with all my 8 scale stuff?
Well, I'll tell you mine.
Huh?
I'll tell him mine.
Yeah.
ProTech 170T or 155T. Those are my two go-to 8 scales. I like the brushless ones now if you can afford them. They're really, the 170 and the 155 aren't really that far off in price anyways. So.
There's a whole 8 scale system sitting over here. I don't know what.
You want to hear a funny story? Emerson plugged his battery in backwards and blew up one of my Hobby Wing 160 speed controllers on Saturday.
That was nice of him.
And then I broke a servo. I finally broke a 160T. It only took me like 5 years. But it wasn't centering. And I narrowed it down. And then it started not turning to the right. So I changed servos. And the only servo I had, because I don't have a spare, was my 170S that I was using for throttle and an 8 scale. I just happened to have one of them in one of my boxes. So I put that giant servo in my carpet car. And I got to say, it actually works pretty good. Adds a little weight to the front as well. So, while you're doing that, Anthony Santi, do you feel TLR will have a new car coming out soon? So I really thought that they might have announced something in December because I believe TLR's cars in the past, all the different versions, they have usually come out in either March or December is when they announce them. So the fact that they didn't come out with one in December sort of makes me think that they gotta have a new car coming out soon because the top level team guys are running this slightly modded front end, and then they're running the 4-wheel drive arms on the rear of the car. So it's not necessarily the same car that you would buy in an Elite. I believe. At least that's what I've been reading. So, and I know when I was at the Hoosier RC race at INS and Dakota was there, I was like, hey, is there anything secret on your card? Because I wanted to get a thumbnail. And he's like, no, everybody already knows about the front end mod. So I took a picture of it. So I already know that you know, and Charlie Mariana had that video too about how to do the front end mod. So, there's got to be a new car coming out.
I can't find that 8 scale system. I had a whole bunch of 8 scale stuff. I'll set aside. I don't know where to put it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh well. Yeah, there's a Reedy servo I'd get, Peta. Just text me. I'll send it to you.
We also got a $5 Canadian super chat from Peter. Says thanks and Happy New Year too.
Wow.
Thanks and Happy New Year. It is a new year, 2023. I think that's it.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Sorry for the internal disruption, but my sister said that that's never happened before, and I told her, luckily, I don't think you're on yet. I said, well, luckily it was us and not one of our other clients.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I understand that.
Okay.
That's kinda bothering
Did you see this video? Peter Renault had this. Peter Renault's friend hit a Marshall in the head with his 8 scale when they were at Dirt Burners, and I saw the video, and I was like, and at first, like the Marshall looked mad, and then all of a sudden he just like walked away. He's like, yeah, it's fine. It's just a concussion, no worries.
Yeah. Right. I'm just a little concussed.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to go back to the track and finish up my night's work. I was able to get all the dirt placed, and I'm going to probably rake some stuff out before I go home. Okay. And I'll have pictures up of the new layout probably tomorrow night. I got all day tomorrow to finish, so kind of nice having Monday and Tuesday set aside for me to just get that done.
Cool.
So I'm excited for that. Guys, don't forget this show is brought to you by Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at pivotlending.com. Mention our show to Aiden Olson's dad, and get yourself $500 lender credit or 0.125 off your interest rate, your choice, if you go through with a homeowner refinance. And I think it's going to be a buyer's market here pretty soon. So those guys are probably going to be busy again, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. Well, appreciate you getting back on with us, Will.
Oh yeah.
We're ready to start this new year off. I got some ideas on some interviews.
Yeah.
I got to message some people, and we need to get Jason on here. And
yeah,
I was thinking while I was at the track today, we should get Cole Tollard on here. I got some questions.
Yeah, he'd do it in a heartbeat.
Easily. I'm sure he would.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll figure it out. The one-on-one interviews I want to put on Patreon. So, Will, if you got any that you can think of and you want to do it, I'm sure we could arrange it with Margie to get it done too. So,
yeah, right.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, next week we'll be talking about Techno Series stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
And the sick race too.
Yeah. If you've never considered Dirt Oval, consider Dirt Oval. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you seem kind of reinvigorated. So, that's good.
Yeah.
It's real good.
I dig it.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. See you guys.
Bye.